How many staff members do you have in your office? Not in the group, your office.
In my staff, in my office, only one receptionist, and I use a typist. That's not permanently in my service. We, as a group, use the typist.
So how many are you in the office? You are three. It's you, the PA, and the typist
Yes, the receptionist and the typist.
in your office.
Yes.
And then how many are black people?
The receptionist is a black woman.
Have you ever visited a township?
Yes.
Where?
When I was in Bophuthatswana, on many occasions we had to go into the townships.
Where? In
for
which
inspection
township? In
Loka, Garankuwa, Winterveld,
Can you speak any indigenous?
Mabopane.
Can you speak any indigenous language?
No.
Why?
Commissioner, I cannot give a reason for that.
I can't hear Chief
I
Justice.
cannot give you a reason why I cannot speak.
Yeah, have you ever seen any need to
African
learn
language.
indigenous languages?
Yes, I think it's a need to it will be a good thing to speak an African language.
But you still didn't see any need to learn it when you think it's a good thing to
No,
know.
I did not.
You didn't see any need to learn African language.
No, sir.
Do judges have a role to play when it comes to transformation?
Yes.
What role will you play to transform society as a judge?
Well, so maybe to give you an example, I've attached a letter or email to my application form where a black woman appeared in my court in an opposed matter, and she appeared in person. And I've guided her right through the proceedings. And at the end of the day, I ruled in her favor. She wrote a comment to the judge president. Maybe if I can refer to that document. It was, the lady was Busizwe Maduna. She wrote that, "Your Lordship, please allow me," and this is a letter that was, email that was addressed to the Judge President. "Your Lordship, please allow me to extend my sincere gratitude to the High Court and in particular Judge J.J. Strydom for the assistance given in my legal case." This lady was not represented, as I said, she appeared in person. "By way of introduction, I'm a layman in terms of the law, but still represented myself at the High Court recently. I'm a black female, and this was my first time defending myself in a court as a plaintiff. I certainly did not have the correct terminology or know-how of when to even sit or stand. However, the judge and his team guided me through. I was also grateful to some of the advocates showing me Ubuntu and informing me of what to do and when through whispers and hand gestures. Judge J.J. Strydom was courteous on all accounts." And then she ended up by saying that, "I'm also grateful that Judge J.J. Strydom allowed me to represent myself as I could not afford to have counsel representation. This is the type of compassion that can make a significant contribution to making our society right, in at least understanding that we can have access to resources such as the courts with neither fear nor retribution due to a history of ignorance."
Do you men transform?
So, as I've already said, I'm in favor of transformation, as you, but I cannot say how my appointment will
No, no,
help transformation.
you support transformation, therefore you can't be subjective. In supporting transformation, you ought to tell us now, how does appointing you help to transform the judiciary, since you are a supporter of transformation?
No, sir, I don't know.
It doesn't help us, right?
No.
Appointing you doesn't help us to transform the judiciary, am I right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Commissioner Nyambi,
I'm covered, CJ.
thank you. Prof,
Thank you, CJ. My question is a follow-up to Commissioner Malema's one, particularly on this letter, which makes reference to the concept of Ubuntu, because I was going to ask to what is your understanding of that concept of Ubuntu, and also how does that concept helps us to transform the judiciary in terms of its functioning, and also the jurisprudence that comes out of the court. Thank you.
Commissioner, I don't know what is the concept of Ubuntu.
Commissioner Didiza,
Thank you very much, CJ, and good afternoon, Advocate. Yes, good afternoon. Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes. On your questionnaire on 7,
The earlier response you gave to the question regarding whether you are aware of the concept Ubuntu, did you say that you were not aware of that concept, or did I miss something?
Pardon?
Sorry? He did understand. Oh, okay. He didn't understand the concept. Yes, that's the question really I'm asking. I just wanted to
Yes.
confirm if indeed you said you did not understand the concept Ubuntu.
Yes.
I'm just trying to understand your exposure to customary law, because it seems to be at the very core of the indigenous knowledge system, insofar as it's at the core of African customary law even. How did it escape you? Maybe I should ask a question differently. Your exposure to indigenous customary law, was it only in relation to these two matters that we have just talked about? Because you seem to give me the impression that you've had exposure to African customary law.
That's correct, yes.
I see. Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks, Jay.
thank you so much, Mr. Stradom.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't want to punish you with the deeds of your father. You know, your father was a judge, a very difficult judge, we must say. When it comes to transformation and the things that your father did while he was on that bench, do you think that we should trust you with transformation?
Well, firstly, I'm a different person. I've got a totally different personality from my father. I've got my own mind, and I've heard about things he did. I did not agree with all he has done. I, in fact, challenged him on a couple of occasions as a son. But I believe I will do my own thing, and I've got a different view altogether, and we live in a new dispensation, and I totally accept the transformation, and I will assist where I can also to transform the bench through my interpretation and application of the Constitution, and dealing with matters properly.
Which specific parts that your father committed that today you are saying you don't agree or you are denouncing them?
Well, it is a long time ago. I must now refresh my memory. You're talking about 20 years ago. I think he became a judge in 1974. He was in Namibia for 8 years, and then after that he came to the bench in Pretoria, and I think he already retired in I'm not exactly sure, 93 or something like that. But there was one specific matter which I was unhappy with, and that related to a sentence he imposed in Polokwane on circuit. And that is the matter I specifically remember engaging with him, trying to get a feel why he did what he did. Yeah, that's all I can say at this stage. Other specific incidents I can't now relate or inform the Commission about.
I was trying to understand because, with that background, to some of us it's very difficult to accept that you can advance the interest of a non-racial, non-sexist society when we know the father that brought you in this world didn't share those aspirations. How do you convince us?
Yeah, all I can say is I cannot be responsible for what he has done. He lived in a different era. He has his own background. I have a total different background. I had many other influences. I became aware of the constitutional democracy. I know the principles. I know the Constitution. So all I can say is, although he brought me into life, I will not follow his thought and his thoughts and the way he did things. And I must say, I'm not saying that all he has done was bad. He was a judge for on to 21 years, and he also obviously, according to me, did many or heard cases and work hard. So I just can't at this stage just say just negative things about him. But I will do my own thing, and I will have my own mind. And I have a different mind set than his.
No, I take your point, and as I said in my intro, I don't want to punish you for the deeds of your dad, but I just want to convince myself that indeed it's not a perpetuation or continuation of something that was not right.
Well, I can also just take it a bit further that I've been acting since 2011. I've applied the law. I've sat on many matters. I had no problem whatsoever with any person. There were no complaints that I'm hard or I've got an attitude that's wrong or that I in anti-government or anything like that. There's been absolutely nothing. I've felt that during my 6 years or 7 years of on and off acting, I did my best, and I had no complaints, and I written many judgments, and all of those judgments has been accepted. I've never been taken. Well, I've been taken on appeal once, but that was upheld. And I'm talking about approximately 100 judgments, which I've written over the year without any problems.
Thank you so much, Chief Justice.
Thank you, MSc. Justice Navza.
All right, good guys. I don't really get to know about what is exactly going on here, but I can tell you for sure that Malema has a point to some extent. And as much as it looks like as if he's trying to get this particular gentleman, feel, like not really fit for the position by asking those particular series of questions, up to an extent, if this particular gentleman really can speak any local indigenous dialect, despite the fact that he's asking for a position and the people that he's going to serve are the people that maybe they do not share any common, communication, a language rather in this particular context. But I don't know how well you should have gone with this particular gentleman or with Malema's questions. Do you think that the questions were irrelevant as far as this particular post was, is concerned? And of course, do drop us your comments in the comment section. Let us know what you think as far as this particular interview was, because it looks like it's an inappropriate, and at the same time the kind of questions that Malema is now posing to this particular gentleman, they're not in line, or to me that is that also stand corrected. But again, if really South Africa, and again given the fact that the demographics of South Africa, they're mixed up, like we've got a homogeneous kind of heterogeneous kind of demographics that calls for at least each and every segment to be had in this particular context here. But again, it is as usual, my opinion, and do drop us your comments on the other end and let us exactly know what you're thinking about this. From me, it's an adios. Let's meet in the next upload.